Hello, this will be a demonstration of Proposition 2 from Book 2 of Euclid's Elements, which states that if a straight line be cut at random, the rectangle contained by the whole and each segment will equal the square on the whole. Again, this happens with a lot of Book 2 enunciations. At least for me, I don't understand them immediately until I read the specification. Okay, so we need to be given a straight line, and this straight line shall be AB, and it will be cut at random, just randomly at point C. Pretty simple given. Now we are saying that the rectangle contained by AB and AC plus the rectangle contained by AB and CB will equal the square on the whole AB. Okay, so given that this is our specification, let's construct everything that we need to. The first thing that we obviously construct is this square on AB. Let's see how good I can eyeball this. That is definitely a square. And this square shall be called ADEB, and it will be the square on AB. This is the first part of our construction done. And now, through point C, we shall create straight line CF parallel to AD or BE. It doesn't matter which one we make CF parallel to because AD and BE are themselves parallel to each other. So CF can be parallel to either and it'll be parallel to the other. And that is actually our entire construction done. It's just two steps, a square and a parallel line. So now let's move on. Now, because we're working with a parallelogramic area, we're working with a few of them, but in parallelogramic areas, we know that the opposite sides are equal to one another. This is proposition 134. And so we can say that CF, AD, and BE are all equal to each other. I will also draw that these are parallel to each other. And they're parallel to each other because we made them that way. Okay. So we can see that the rectangle AF, this rectangle right here, is contained by AC and AD because they contain the right angle right here. And we know that AD is equal to AB because they are two sides of a square. And because of definition 122, you're good. Now, because of definition 122, we know that the sides of a square are all equal to each other, so we know that AB is equal to AD, sides of a square. And so we can substitute one containing side for an equal length. We saw this in the last proposition. This will be a common technique Euclid employs. It is a property of magnitude. And so we can say that the rectangle AF is equal to the rectangle that would be contained by AB and AC. And then similarly, we can say that the rectangle CE right here is contained by BC and CF. And we know that CF is equal to AB because it's equal to AD, and AD is equal to AB. We can say that the rectangle CE is equal to the rectangle contained by CB and AB. Cool. The last thing that we can see is that the whole square, AE, is equal to the rectangle AF plus CE. This is self-evident looking at the diagram. These two rectangles, AF and CE, are the parts of AE, and so their sum will equal the whole, and that whole is the square AE. Okay, so we know that the square AE is equal to the rectangle AF plus the rectangle CE. And so substituting various terms out, this is again a property of magnitudes, we can say that the square on AB, which is what AE is, it's the square on AB, we made it that way, is equal to the rectangle AC, is equal to the rectangle contained by AC and AB, that is rectangle AF, plus the rectangle contained by AB and CB, that is rectangle CE. And so we have gotten to what we have to prove, right? We have gotten to the specification, that is the square on the whole is equal to the rectangles contained by the whole and each of the segments. And so, having reached our specification and proven that it is true, we are at the end of the proposition, therefore, etc., QED. Now, it's a short proposition. It's a very short proposition, very simple one. I do not think there is anything of note here that is not contained within my video on proposition 2.1. Everything a little bit different from what we've seen in book 1 is also seen in proposition 2.1. So if you would like to know what book 2 is all about, I would recommend watching the end of that video. The algebraic form of this one, I gave the algebraic form of the last one in 2.1, that was the distributive property. This one is not so obvious, but we can still work it out. So if we call AC A and CB B, well, we can say that A plus B squared, right, that is the square on A plus B, the square on the whole, is equal to, I lost things. A times A plus B, right. So the segment, the rectangle is contained by the whole in the segment. The whole is A plus B, the segments are A and B. So we have that. That would be the algebraic form of it. Doesn't look nearly as clean as the last one, or as recognizable as the last one. But it is in fact another way of saying a later proposition, proposition 2.4, and 2.4 will certainly be recognizable to you, so I think I will hold off on the expansion of this expression until that one. And so that's being the end of proposition 2.2 and my short little commentary on it, I guess. I will be ending the video here, and I will see you all in the next proposition 2.3.